Welcome to the Monk Manual community. The Monk Manual integrates the preparation strengths of a planner with the reflective strengths of a journal to help you experience more meaningful productivity and personal growth each day. At the core of the Monk Manual is a system for radical intentionality. Yet, the flexible framework supports thousands of members from all walks of life worldwide. Before you open up your Monk Manual, know this. There's not one right way to build your Monk Manual practice. There's only your way. I'm going to walk you through some of the prompts and the intentions behind them to help you get started, but please remember the system is designed to help you flourish every day. If you want to adapt any area of your planner to better serve your rhythms and routines, please do. We have a diverse user base, so whatever your life circumstance, the Monk Manual can help you achieve higher levels of peaceful being and purposeful doing. It's important to note that your experience with the Monk Manual weekly planner is likely going to be quite different from other experiences you've had with other weekly planners in the past. That's because the goal for the Monk Manual isn't just keeping a to-do list, managing a calendar, or simply executing on your goals. The endpoint of the Monk Manual is helping you realize a fuller life. It's about helping you find deeper levels of peaceful being and purposeful doing in the here and now so that you can reach new potentials in every area of your life. Okay, so let's look inside the Monk Manual weekly planner. Some find it simplest to start with the weekly prepare pages and then build a rhythm of using this each day. Once that becomes part of your routine, add in the weekly reflect pages and eventually build up to the monthly pages. This doesn't have to be the way you begin, but it does seem to help a lot of new members ease into the practice. Let's take a look at the weekly prepare pages. On the far left, you're going to have your top 3 priorities. Take time to discern your most important work for the week here. Ask yourself, if I only got 3 things done this week, what's really most important? If you can, even go ahead and rank them in order of importance. Often we feel like we're running against a never-ending to-do list. We're finite people with seemingly infinite demands. By setting priorities at the beginning of each week, you'll have a greater sense of clarity and purpose. And you'll have a definition of done so that you can rest at the end of the week knowing you focused on the truly most important things. Below priorities is a to-do list. If there are other things you want to get to, but are less important, you can list them out here. It can help to get tasks out of your mind and onto paper. The key thing here is to not let the less important items get in the way of your top 3 priorities for the week. If it helps, use this section for something else like a grocery list or a workout regimen. It's your Monk Manual. Use it in the ways that will support you and your goals. At this point, if you know there are certain tasks or events coming up this week, I might write them down on the days of the week. Then if I'm doing my weekly prep on a Monday, I'll look at the Monday column and begin writing my priority for the day, my schedule for the day, or the tasks I want to get done today in the lined area. And then from there, I'll write down something that I'm grateful for. Sometimes I wait until the end of the day or even the next morning to write down my insight for the day. Life gives us so many lessons each and every day. The insight space is for you to record and catalog those learnings. This could be something that I notice about how I'm feeling, something I've learned, or something I'm drawn to. It's the perfect opportunity to look back on the day and ask yourself, what did this day really teach me? Habits and themes are listed on each of the weekly and monthly prepare pages. Habits are small actions done consistently. While the effects of habits are not always immediate, healthy habits compound into massive changes over time. Whether you're looking for shifts in your relationships, work, energy levels, or even your spiritual life, focusing on healthy habits can help you move in the direction you desire in a measurable way. To the right of the habit prompt, you'll notice a habit tracker. This is here to help you track your progress and pay attention to the patterns that emerge. If you're unable to get to a habit most days of the week, perhaps you might need to scale it back, make it smaller or more achievable. If you're meeting your habit goals each week, celebrate this and consider where you feel led to grow next. While habits usually focus on the quantitative goals of our life, themes can help us grow in deeply qualitative ways. A theme is an idea, concept, or word that if you focus on it for an entire week or month, will transform your life for the better. Themes answer questions like, what's missing in my experience of life? How can I grow? How might I give? Now let's take a look at the weekly reflect pages. The reflection section may be the most valuable part of the Monk Manual, but for many users, it's also the most foreign. In our culture, unless you've been extremely lucky, most of us have never been taught the necessity of reflection. But it's here that you're going to gain insights into how you spend your time, how you're experiencing your life, and where the real opportunities for growth are. A word of warning: this is also the section that you're going to be most likely to be tempted to skip. At the end of a long week, the last thing you're going to want to do is look back sometimes. The best way to guard against this is to carve out a specific time and place that you're going to do your weekly reflection, especially when you're just developing this new habit. A word of encouragement here: when we reflect, it often doesn't feel like we're actually doing anything. Unlike taking action, when we reflect, we may not see any immediate tangible result. But reflection, repeated over time, is one of the greatest habits we can build on our path to a fuller life. Many of the greatest leaps forward I've made personally have come directly as a result of regular reflection. Let's take a look at biggest accomplishments. It's important for us to celebrate wins and recognize the growth that's happening each week. This prompt can be viewed as internal events, such as choices you've made, perhaps how you responded to a situation, or how you intentionally prepared for time with your family. Or it could be external successes, maybe priority completions that were important achievements for you. Under meaningful moments, write down one or a few memories from the past week that come to mind. Why are these moments special to you? Under God is teaching me, reflect on what it is that you're learning right now. Where do you feel you're being led? What might you need to let go of? When we ask and contemplate these questions, our brain develops new neural connections, leading to new insights and new creativity. Under habit insights, you're going to take a moment to write down the insights around the habit that you're currently working on. What are you learning about yourself through practicing this habit? Do you maybe need to make a change as you go about this next week? What's working and what's not? Finally, we have one change that you can make next week. This is really your space to consider how it is that you want to grow in one measurable way. Sometimes we feel like there's so many things we want to change that we try to do it all at once. But focus is important. So just pick one thing. If you trust that process and each week focus on a new way that you want to grow, you'll see those changes compound over time to create real meaningful change. Next, we have relationship growth. What's one relationship that you want to cultivate over the coming week? It could be as simple as considering your spouse's needs first, or setting up a lunch date with a friend, or doing something kind for a neighbor. Last, we have I'm looking forward to. It's important for us to write down the good things that are coming in the future, the things that bring us hope, or an event that we're anticipating with joy. Doing so is going to set a positive tone for your week and remind you that every single day and every single month brings with it a unique potential. All right, so that's the weekly prepare and weekly reflect pages. The goal is progress, not perfection. This is a new practice and you can build it over time. Just keep coming back. Soon enough, these pages are going to become an essential part of your weekly rhythm. When you're ready, build the monthly prepare pages into your practice. Here you're going to zoom out on a larger chunk of time, the month that's coming up ahead. In the priority section, you can clarify the goals that are most important to you and begin to build your time each week and each day around your most meaningful work, relationships, play, spiritual growth, and habits. The priority section functions very much the same as the weekly and daily priorities. It's meant to help you stay true to your most important work amongst all the competing demands that arise any given month. Below priorities is the monthly check-in. This prompts for you to gain a sense of how things are going and where you may want to direct your energy in the next month. This is not meant to be a grading scale so much as a gauge. Are things going well or really well? Thumbs up. Or are things maybe less than ideal in a particular area? Thumbs down. Here you can take a few moments to consider the harmonies of your life and where you might want to tune up one area. The real power of this section is in the patterns that emerge over time. You'll find that there's certain areas where you tend to thrive more than others. Pay attention to these patterns and pay extra attention to how you might invest in the areas where you might not normally devote as much energy. One way I want to grow this month. Think about this prompt at the beginning of the month will help you anchor your monthly habit and theme around meaningful growth in the month ahead. The Monk Manual framework is simple, but it may take a little time to build your practice. Remember, this is probably a totally new experience for you. With regular practice, it can support significant change and growth in your life. While we often imagine ourselves as efficient machines, our growth really operates much more like plants. Over time, when you keep showing up, you'll find quiet growth that compounds into meaningful change in your life. The weekly planner is undated to increase flexibility. If you miss a week or a day, don't sweat it. Just pick up your practice again the next day. Before you begin, I want to encourage you to do two things. Take a moment right now and write down why it is that you want to begin this practice. What do you hope to gain by using your Monk Manual Weekly Planner? When we know the why behind what we do, we're much more likely to adopt the practice and stay committed to it. Second, I want you to schedule time each day to spend in your Monk Manual. You might change it up as you're finding your rhythm, but you're much more likely to keep up the practice if you make room for it now. If you get stuck, know that we're here for you. We have in-house coaches who are ready to help you build your practice. I want to thank you for saying yes to the Monk Manual and investing in a fuller life. This simple tool leverages best practices in productivity, positive psychology, and spiritual growth. With regular practice, I'm confident that you'll find yourself living each day with more peace, presence, and meaningful productivity.